but God is still faithful, and He has, I believe He has y'all here, and all of this is already ordered. All your steps are already ordered in the Lord. So it's like just follow course, even though it's not what you expected. God still has you, so it's like just go with it.
Yes, ma'am.
Yep, go with it and be encouraged, and we got you back in prayer.
All right.
Appreciate that, Miss Angie.
Okay, that's right, Jay. This girl, Nia try to take y'all place with the teenagers.
Oh.
Trust me, y'all much better be there than Nia.
Oh my goodness.
I'm just kidding. Okay, y'all have y'all be safe. All right, love y'all.
Love you too. Bye bye.
Okay, see y'all.
How you doing? All right. Uh-huh. What is you doing in this bag, girl?
Well, just occupying space. Probably would have had a slower day with that man in.
Sean Quinn.
I know.
Ain't nothing sweet. You got your toes all out,
Jay,
girl?
stop. Don't look at my swole feet.
You got your toes all out.
Yeah.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you said you got a birth Thursday. You ain't gotta jump ship right now.
Well, I just know that I would. That's what this is about.
Oh.
I got you.
When the baby James told me to come up there, I could do that.
I'm just letting. I told Sean. I said it's our fault by naming him after me. He got to make some kind of entrance. He can't act right.
He still has to stir it up a bit. He still has to make it, he wanted to make the phone calls a little bit rough. Just a little bit. It's true. It makes sense, James. I do agree with that.
You so crazy. You so crazy.
How are the contractions? Did they slow down? Let's see on that first.
Yeah, they finally subsided.
Okay. That's good.
I hadn't had any more since a couple hours ago, so I think they are right now.
Oh, that's a blessing. Okay, what's your blood pressure the last time they took it?
It's been a little while since they checked it. It was
Should check again at 6.
Yeah, at 6. It was like 130 over. It's been the bottom number has been anywhere between 85 and 95, and so of course that's the one they've really kind of concerned about.
Yeah. Let's just see how they're gonna keep you overnight.
Yeah.
And we'll just kind of see how it goes. Just keep me posted though.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing now is I still need to hear back from the doctor, but if with the blood work that was done, them seeing the protein in the urine and
yeah, did they say what the level was? Sean? Like what?
Where's my phone? Let me see. Protein. Okay, so the AST and the ALT, which is something I was looking for too, that was lower. That was 19 and 23. The what else I'm missing? That was 0.7, but that was the serum. But the PCR, that was 0.39, and they said that was elevated, which is what was concerning them. So yeah, that I guess along with the blood pressure not being as stable as it's been, he was saying that they don't usually let moms go past 37 weeks.
Well, the big victory is that contraction stopped. So let James say he's not going to do it. He's not going to do the whole thing. He's going to settle down.
You know me, I can only act right for so long. Got to do something crazy at some point.
Long window of time. 35 weeks is a long time for somebody like James to act right. He did it. He really.
What I need to be asking them when they come in, because they've been trying to play us a little bit. But
that's, we definitely want to see those levels. They shouldn't be. The good part is that, so it sounds like they have her who's just the IV, but is it blocked up time? They just got the block on it?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's good. Unless they are telling you
can't eat. I mean, just as long as they don't have to take that block off them and they're not offering her nothing, like while she's kind of tired or something, she shouldn't be getting any medicine or anything like that unless they telling her exactly what it is and exactly why it is.
Okay.
Right now, because the contractions stopped, and I know we talked about earlier, like if they didn't, the possibility of doing like steroids or something, but because they stopped and she's kind of stabilizing, don't let them offer her anything, you know, because as the night goes on, she might get tired. Just make sure that if they offer her something that she's fully aware of what it is. But just knowing that, I mean, there's really nothing they can offer her, so they shouldn't be trying to give her
anything at this point.
Right.
Makes sense. Finally made it back. Chopped it up with Sean.
I'm so glad you was able to come back.
I got you, girl.
I appreciate that, baby.
Y'all we're so glad we were able to get back there. Called the doula up. Randy hit Randy up again. I was blowing her phone up that day. I really was. But she was able to walk us through a lot and give us some clear understanding of here's where we are, here's our plan, how we can develop a plan. She was even like, listen, if I need to jump on a flight, she live in Atlanta, we in KC. She's like, listen, if I need to jump on a flight tonight, we make that happen. And so that was cool.
Right.
But where was your head during this time? Like, we were still kind of hopeful that.
Yeah, for sure. So, you know, you laying there in the hospital bed can be kind of scary because it's like literally a waiting game.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta wait for the doctors to come in, gotta wait for nurses to come in and tell you different things. And so, yeah, we just try not to be anxious about a whole lot, and trying to see where we go from here because, you know, at this point, all we know is that I had the high blood pressure and I had protein in my urine. But a lot of times they continue home with those things and you can wait it out for a little bit longer. Mm-hmm. The biggest thing is we want to keep me and the baby safe, and so they're monitoring to see where that goes.
Yeah.
So
I'm cool with that. Let's monitor, just make sure we get a baseline. But I'm gonna keep it a whole band with y'all. We was thinking about that bill.
Yeah, we were.
We were thinking about that bill. Listen.
Come on.
We was like, yo, we in ministry nonprofit work, so the check ain't all that. You know what I'm saying? And so it was like, yo.
We already got to stay overnight, right?
We already got to stay overnight. That's going to cost a ticket. And then we was like, well, they ordered some more stuff. These labs, the blood work, and then they ordered the ultrasound. I said, listen, I know the first ultrasound cost us a bag.
It
and we
did.
was like, listen.
All these things happening.
Yeah, that's one part. But then at the back of our mind, we really were like, we want to make sure Sean is good.
Yeah.
Make sure the baby is good.
Right.
And so that was the ultimate goal. But I'm going to be honest with y'all. That was in the back of our mind. We even started making phone calls to the billing department to make sure everything was A1.
Yeah.
To see if it is accepted, if it's in network, out of network, or whatever the case may be.
Give me one moment.
All right. It makes sense. But what I'm hearing though, that First Health is in network with the hospital though.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. Well, I appreciate that. That definitely helps out a lot. We were just wondering how all this stuff was happening. I said, oh, we racking up a bill if we're not in network. So.
Yeah. So far you all are okay.
Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate that, Ms. Dion. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yes.
Because we had just moved out here, and our thought was like, wait a minute, is our insurance still in network here? Because our plan was to do a home birth. The plan is to do a home birth, so it was like, okay, we put some bread back, we can pay for that, but this hospital bill, let's make sure we still in network. So we handled that. And so we there tonight. Stayed up there with you for sure. Wasn't leaving, and
That's
we were there all night. They were checking, monitoring, doing blood pressure, the baby, all that good stuff all night. And then the morning is when they did the ultrasound.
Yeah.
And we were waiting.
It's a wait.
All day Wednesday.
It's pretty good.
For the doctor. Like some people came in talking about 9 a.m., 10 a.m. He'll be here. He'll check you out. It was so long that
you had to leave.
I had to leave
because you had to get the dog.
I had to let the dog out. I had to do all these things, and so I was like, all right. He hadn't come down. I hadn't eaten really all day, so I was like, well, let me shoot to the house real quick, let the dog out, grab some food, and get back. As soon as I pulled up to the house, the doctor came.
Yep.
And so here is
That conversation.
the conversation with the doctor and letting us know what was what.
Your gestational height, well, for preeclampsia, basically. But that's stable from this standpoint at this point.
Okay.
We have the concerns about the fetal heart rate with some deceleration,
Right.
which is a little weird at 35 weeks. Not completely unheard of, but a little more abnormal. And that's why I decided to get the biophysical profile. I kind of suspected if you're going to have D cells that there's some kind of stress on the baby. And in this case, we have what's called oligohydramnios, so a really low fluid level. So the question is, well, what causes oligohydramnios? So, we talk about, obviously, if your water bag would have broke, then there'd be low fluids.
Right.
It's not grabbing leaking. I don't think so. Then we talk about, any kind of stress on the placenta. And so it could be the fact that everything was normal on your last anatomy ultrasound makes me less convinced that I guess there's anything concerning with the baby, and it more would be don't have any real concerns. The recommendation with the oligohydramnios would be delivery at 36 to 37 weeks. With everything kind of going on, though, I want to get a second opinion from I want to get the primary opinion from the high-risk doctor. So
We'll see what. And the nurse is getting the blood pressure now. He just stepped out to have that conversation with the high-risk doctor.
All right.
I guess we'll have something more from there. That sounds like we having a baby. Okay, that's what it sounds like. Yep, that's what it sounds like.
All right, so the plan's going to be we're going to continue monitoring. If anything goes severe, then concerns about the baby, concerns about the blood pressures, concerns about symptoms of severe preeclampsia, then we're going to go ahead and start the induction right away. If I can get in both doses of betamethasone, that would be preferable before delivery. So we'll get you the one shot today, the steroid shot. We do a second shot 24 hours later. Probably start the induction tomorrow night into Friday, unless there's any concerns that are, and I'm pointing to the screen, unless there's any concerns that would push me to go earlier.
What process do you use for induction?
My preference is the fully ball, but I don't know how dilated she is, so usually we'll start with a sided tech if I can't get a fully ball in, but my preference is full.
Okay.
And how far lower is the fluid than what is recommended or what is normal?
So it's a two-part answer.
Okay.
There's something called an AFI, an amniotic fluid index, and that's if you add all four quadrants.
Mm-hmm.
If that's less than 5, it's diagnosed of oligohydramnios. That was 2.
Oh.
The maximum vertical pocket is the other thing, and that's looking at the biggest pocket of fluid. If that's less than 2, that's the definition of oligohydramnios. And so the fact that all of your fluid alone was only 2 suggests to me that it's very, very low.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the normal range, just to give you, would be somewhere between 5 and 25 for the AFI if I add them all together, and somewhere between 2 and 8 if I'm looking at just a single pocket.
Gotcha. It's real. 8 weeks out is not happening no more.
We can laugh now, but oh my God.
At that moment, it was tough because we were like, wait a minute.
How did we even get?
How did we get to this point for real? Like, going from opposite ends of the spectrum. Before we were 100% natural at the house, real chill, and now it's like, we gotta be induced.
Woo.
We have to be induced. And shout out to our midwife that we met with because she was amazing to just really lay out to us that, hey, listen, a home birth is beautiful. A home birth is great. A home birth is awesome. But a healthy birth is what we truly are after.
Absolutely.
And so in that last week, and the last one we were just talking about trusting the Lord.
That's
His
it.
plan is laid out, and we have to put that into action this very week.
But he orchestrated everything.
Yeah, for sure.
The midwife and her saying, "Hey, I need you to go get checked out," up to the random nausea and vomiting, to the contractions, to these testing, like things lined up. Though we didn't want those things and we didn't ask for those things, if one thing after another wouldn't have happened, that could have put the whole pregnancy, the birth, in jeopardy of something going tragically wrong. So.
Yeah, that's real. These certain pockets of things that happen in our lives, and we're like, Lord, why are these things happening? Why are these things playing out the way that they are? But when we take those things into isolation, they may not make sense. But when we put them in the bigger picture, the context of all that's happening, and the Lord, and literally through all this, he probably literally saved your life and the baby's life, because it could have gotten really bad.
Could have.
Really bad. But we're thankful that the Lord has a plan, that he has us in his heart, has us in his hands, and that he is laying things out. So yeah, Baby Hope will be here this weekend. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy to think about. So yes, Curveball, the baby is coming a lot sooner than what we thought.
Yep.
4 weeks early.
Yeah.
A month early. So we just trust in the Lord in that, and thankful that he has provided us with the community, the family, and the resources and the ability to do these things. And so that's where we at, y'all. So stay tuned for the rest, because it's just getting started.
Yep.
It's just getting started. We thank you guys for this time. Thank you guys for just really joining us for real. And please take the time to get that proper care and health that you need for yourself.
It's important.
It's so important. I think we may do a little segment later on.
Yeah. We'll give out a little bit more.
Yeah, give out a little bit more. Stay tuned on that, man. We're going to do a little segment on just why it's important to get these things done and some steps to take. But all in all, we appreciate y'all. We still having fun 8 weeks out. Sometimes the Lord throws a curveball, and we got to hit it out the park.
Yeah.
So, y'all take it easy.